Good morning, children. I am Mrs. Nahi Javeria, taking Physical Science for class 10th. We are into the third session of Unit 9, Electric Current. In our previous session, we had seen the factors affecting resistance, the length of the conductor, and area of cross section. In today's session, we'll be seeing the remaining two factors, that is, the temperature and nature of the material. Coming to temperature and resistance, for this we'll consider the circuit containing a battery, key, bulb and your connecting wires or your copper wires. Measure the resistance of the bulb when it is in open circuit using a multimeter. We know the uses of our multimeter. We had seen in our previous session. Multimeter can be used either to measure your potential difference, current or resistance. So we are going to measure the resistance of this bulb with the help of a multimeter. Okay. Now after measuring the resistance of the bulb using a multimeter, we are going to connect it in the circuit. Right. Now switch on the circuit. After a few minutes, measure the resistance of the bulb again using a multimeter. We definitely see that there is a difference between the two readings. The value of resistance of the bulb in the second instance, that is, once you are connecting it in the circuit and for a few minutes and then noting the resistance, it is greater than the resistance which was found before you were connecting in the circuit. What is the reason for the increase in the resistance of the bulb when current flows through it? We'll notice that the bulb gets heated. That is, the temperature is increasing. Right? So the increase in the temperature, this is the filament of the bulb, right? So the increase in the temperature of the filament in the bulb is responsible for the increase in the resistance in the second instance. And hence we can conclude that there is a relation between the resistance of the bulb and its temperature. And the value of resistance of a conductor depends on temperature. There's a direct relationship. When you are increasing the temperature, the resistance is also increasing. When you are decreasing the temperature, the resistance is also decreasing. We'll just sum it up again. Measure the resistance of the bulb when it is in open circuit using a multimeter. Connect a circuit with the components as shown in the figure. Switch on the circuit. After a few minutes, measure the resistance of the bulb again. We notice that the value of resistance of the bulb in the second instance is more than the resistance of the bulb in open circuit. We notice that the bulb gets heated. The increase in temperature of the filament in the bulb is responsible for the increase in resistance of the bulb and its temperature. The value of resistance of a conductor depends on temperature for constant potential difference between the ends of the conductor. Now coming to nature of the material and resistance. Collect different metallic rods of same length and same area of cross section like copper, aluminium, iron, etc. That is, we are selecting some metallic rods. See to it that they are of same length and same area of cross section, and you are going to connect them between these 2 points P and Q, and thereby completing the circuit. Here also the same thing, we have a battery, an ammeter, a key and the metallic rod. So once you are connecting the metallic rod between P and Q and allowing the current to pass through the circuit, measure the electric current using an ammeter, right? And then repeat this with the other metallic rods. The values of current are different for different metallic rods for a constant potential difference. That is, we are not varying the potential difference. Potential difference is same. But when we are changing the metallic rods, that is, we are either using copper or aluminium or iron and then checking out the reading, we see that there is a difference in the reading in the emitters. So with this we come to the conclusion that the resistance also depends on nature of the material. Again, we'll just sum it up. Collect different metal rods of the same length and same area of cross section like copper, aluminium, iron, etc. Make a circuit as shown in the figure. Connect one of the metal rods between the ends P and Q. Switch on the circuit. Measure the electric current using the ammeter connected in the circuit and note its value. Repeat this with other metal rods and measure the electric currents in each case. We observed that the values of current are different for different metal rods for a constant potential difference. The resistance of a conductor depends on the material of the conductor. Coming to resistivity. What is resistivity? We know the various factors on which resistance depends. The first factor, which is length of the conductor, the resistance of a conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. If we are representing resistance by R and length by L, so R is proportional to L. This is L, children, right? Now, the resistance of a conductor is also inversely proportional to its area of cross section. That is R proportional to 1 by A. Since it is inversely proportional, your area of cross section comes in the denominator. And this is 1. Just check out the difference between L and 1. Okay. So, resistance is directly proportional to L and resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Now combining these two equations, this is your first equation and this is your second equation. When we are combining both the equations, we can write together resistance is proportional to L by A. Whenever we remove the proportionality sign, we get a constant. So R equal to a constant which is called as rho. The symbol is rho, which is a symbol of resistivity or specific resistance. Rho L by A. So on rearranging, rho is equal to RA by L. So this is specific resistance or also known as resistivity. And the SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. We can just get this unit from the formula also. We know the unit of resistance is ohm, unit of area is square meters, and unit of length is meters. So ohm meter square by meter. Square and meter gets cancelled. Thereby we'll be having only ohm meter. So SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. The reciprocal of resistivity is called conductivity. So, the resistivity of a material is the resistance per unit length of a unit cross section of the material. And values of resistivity of material determine their conductivity. That is, based on the values of resistivity, we can come to a conclusion whether the given materials are good conductors or semiconductors or insulators. So metals with low resistivity behave as good conductors. And the filament of an electric bulb is usually made of tungsten because of its higher resistivity values and high melting point. And the resistivity value of tungsten is 5.6 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter, children. Okay, just it has been placed separately, but it is together 5.6 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. This is the high resistivity of tungsten filament, and its melting point is also of a higher order, that is 3422 degrees Celsius, and hence we are using tungsten as the filament of an electric bulb. The values of resistivity of insulators are very high, of the order of 10 to the power of 14 to 10 to the power of 16 ohm meters. So resistances, they are very high because they do not allow current to flow through them. That is why they have a higher values of resistivities. The resistivity of materials such as silicon and germanium. Actually, silicon and germanium are semiconductors we know. So these silicon and germanium have the resistivity values between 10 to the power of 5 to 10 to the power of 10 times more than that of metals. Okay, so they are 10 to the power of 5 into 2 10 to the power of 10 times more than that of metals, but they are lesser when compared to insulators. They are about 10 to the power of 15 to 10 to the power of 16 times less than that of insulators. So such materials are called as semiconductors. Coming to the assignment, first question, how does the resistance of a conductor vary with the temperature? Second question, why do we consider tungsten as a suitable material for making the filament of a bulb? And the third question, what is the SI unit of resistivity? Thank you.